All right. Welcome to Iwayi Talks. I'm Daniel here with Iwayi, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by our great partners from Tumodo, Saba, Ahmed, and Erik Dedekind. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah, if you can just kick things off, can you please introduce yourself and your company, what you do inside your company, what your company does?
So my name is Erik Dedekind. I am the head of commercial at Tumodo. So generally, I look after the role of sales as well as key account management. What we do essentially, we specialize in travel technology. We have created a product or a platform that really helps businesses streamline their processes of business travel. Reporting, obviously approval flows, travel policies, the whole range of anything relating to business travel is what we specialize in. And of course, we are made up of a lot of professionals from the industry, from hotels, airlines, corporate, leisure, so all different parts of the travel world is made or makes up Tumodo.
That's great to hear. And like, if you can just give me a glimpse how it all started, like how Tumodo started, the journey of the company.
Yeah, we noticed that, a problem that a lot of businesses deal with is the traditional method of booking travel still, right? Where they would send an email to a travel management company and say, please give me some quotes for some flights or transfers, hotels. And it works, it's fine, but it's a very tedious and long drawn out process. A lot of errors are made when you have a lot of humans working on the process. Obviously, humans make the errors. And we noticed that, businesses are looking in today's world more towards technology and optimization and digitalization of a lot of their processes. That's why we decided let's build something that's really special and really unique. And anybody that does business travel is able to use the product.
Yeah, that's great to hear, actually. Like, I just wanted to know, like, I know that your company is a great one, just from the personal experience that we have between each other. And we have in our company Miss Pauline, who is close to Miss Saba as well.
Yes.
And just, I wanted to know, actually, were there a lot of doubts in the early stages of the Tumodo, or like, because I know a lot of guys, a lot of competitors from like throughout the travel market. There are a lot of like similar guys, maybe the ones who are focused more maybe on business travel, maybe on leisure travel. But what stand out? What is the thing that stands out for you guys? What are you like more specified in?
Look,
if I would say.
when you say doubts, of course you would always have some doubts, but we were quite confident in that the product that we have or that we had and will continue to develop, that we put to market, is a very strong product. We don't really have much of an interest of playing in the leisure space. That's quite saturated, and
especially like in GCC market, if I would say.
Exactly.
Like thousands of companies, like from my personal experience.
Yeah, so there would be there was no point, to go in that direction in the leisure space. So corporate is a whole nother ball game. It's a lot more complex, but I think you are seeing the value more of technology, or more of it playing an integral part in business travel more than leisure nowadays, especially when you have businesses that have these big travel budgets, and these very complex and intricate travel itineraries and plans. And then, of course, one of the most important things is, what am I spending my money on? I need visibility and transparency to see where my money is going. Because I've got a big travel budget, I like to see very carefully exactly how I'm spending each dollar. That's why I say doubts, of course, but confidence. We were quite confident and still are, and we did identify some gaps, especially here in the UAE, where we didn't see or don't see a lot of competitors in terms of the product that we have. So it positioned us really well, I think, to progress from there.
Yeah. I think the point that you made about like clear access to the money that the companies are spending inside of your platform is a great tool, like for all the corporates. And just wanted to know, like, what's more difficult for you to handle, to work with these complex things that corporates always ask for, or to find like vendors who will do these complex things? Because from my experience, I will tell you, like, the corporates, they book and they have really, really specific needs. Like, if the bottle of water will not be the brand that they want to have claim, if the color of the car will be like not black but blue, I don't know, or white, they will tell, I will not go on this car. I have a thing. I met with one partner in Saudi Arabia, and he told that one of his clients who booked a car, and the driver was not like really smiley person, and he asked, like, can you please send out another driver who smiles much more than this guy, because I cannot be in this in the same car with this guy. So my question is, like, what's harder, basically, to manage all of these needs of the client, or to find the vendor to make all of these bookings come true?
Well, I think my colleague Saba will be able to answer that better. I can answer from a client perspective, and I'd love to hear from Saba regarding the vendor side of things. But I think you make a really valid point in that what people are looking for today as consumers, and even if you are traveling for business or for pleasure, you're still a consumer, right? And a lot of people nowadays are also looking for not just a flight or a transfer or a hotel room. It's often about the experience behind that as well. And humans are looking more for experiences now, and good experiences and good service. It is critical, in my opinion, to make sure that from the start of the actual travel experience, from a booking perspective, all the way through to the end of the experience, where, let's say, the driver drops you back at home again, that is what sits in your memory, and having a friendly face after a long flight, when you've got to go straight into a meeting, is very important. Other people, might think it's funny or roll their eyes or laugh at it, but it really is. So, from a client or experience perspective, I think those finer little details are very important, but it's difficult to always satisfy every single person's needs, of course. So we'll always try our best. Maybe the driver was just having a bad day, or it was bad traffic or something, but that can, in my opinion, definitely impact somebody's general overall experience by even just having an unfriendly driver.
I will just, sorry to interrupt you. I will just tell you that I arrived here in Dubai just today. And when I arrived, I was so shocked by the temperature. And as soon as I got into the car, the driver's like, okay, I'm turning the AC all the way up. Here's the bottle of water. Just enjoy, just relax. I will get you to the point. Just don't care about it. Just sit back and enjoy. I'm like, oh my God, that's so refreshing. The AC, the water, thank you so much. But like,
that you don't even have to ask. It
happens naturally, because the driver knows that you just, he doesn't know where you come from. Like, maybe you had like 24-hour flight, maybe you had 1 hour flight. It doesn't matter. It's just like the quality of service itself.
Absolutely.
And just like,
it's just the little things. Like this bottle of water is just a very small gesture, but that matters a lot.
Yes. Yeah. That was really important for me today. I will tell you that. So let's get back to the question that we just detoured completely.
Yes.
We heard Erik's thoughts about like the clients and their needs, and I want to ask you, Saba, about the vendors. Like, how do you find them to do all these little things for your clients, you know?
All right, let me start by introducing myself. So I'm Saba Ahmed. I take care of the supplies for Tumodo. I head the supplies for all Tumodo markets. And just as your question is, I think it's very important for us to first understand, analyze, and do our research before we even enter the market with the supplies we have. So yes, we keep our clientele in mind. What kind of clients are we going to approach? What kind of clients we will onboard? But we make sure before we launch a market, we have all the top suppliers or all the major suppliers that are absolutely essential to be on our platform. So for me especially, I will not go live with a market, or I will not launch a product unless all the services are covered, like air, hotel, cars, rails. For example, a rail service in India is very essential, but in the Middle East, there is no rail service.
Yeah.
So car services, car transfers are very common in the Middle East. But in India, it's not very common. It's a high-end luxury. So it really depends from market to market. So in each market, we can't have a generic approach where, okay, we have 5 suppliers, connect everywhere. No, it's really specific to the market. It's specific to the client needs. And of course, we have to be on par with the competitors. So that's our number one goal, that we have to have the products that the clients need, and of course the best prices. And that's the challenging part to get. It's very easy to get the products, but you have to get those prices as well.
Yeah, but like, I want to ask you about, like, you just said that depending on the market, you need to meet expectations of the client depending on their market. I just wanted you to ask, like, are there like general suppliers that you always check? Like, for example, like hotels. I think this is like the general
it's thing. Standard. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Tickets. What else?
Yes, like exactly. So for example, for air, we research which agency or which partner will give us the best air supplies. When I say the best air supplies, that means maximum inventory for full-fledged and low-cost airlines. If we look at hotels, obviously we have a huge network of hotels that covers all suppliers globally. But if you go to a market specifically, we need local hotel content. So then we have to make sure we partner up with a local provider who's prominent in that country. When it comes to cars, we have a API with you that works fantastic. Thank God for that.
Thank you.
that we plug into all our markets, because your network is fantastic. And we cover more than 200 countries with you. Similarly, if we go to our next product, which is rail, the rail service or rail product in India is completely different than a rail product in Europe.
Another question about supplies. I just want you to tell me more about it. Mm-hmm. What's the most difficult one? You just said about rails.
Mm-hmm. So anything ad hoc becomes challenging, Daniel. All right. So we have most of our services which are connected online, which are easily bookable if the client wants to book online.
Like hotels, flights.
But there are like ad hoc services. For example, a charter flight.
Oh, yeah.
Right? A charter flight, a MICE event, a group booking for 300 room nights. So these are some ad hoc services where we really have to put in the effort. Obviously, these go offline because these things we can't connect them online. These go offline. And our support team is one of our strengths. So if whenever clients come up with these ad hoc requests, we don't say no. We accept it.
Of course.
Yeah, we don't say no. We find a way to deliver. If we don't have a contracted supplier, for example, charter flights, if we don't have a contracted supplier, we will contract with them for that specific event or for that specific flight or that group. So that's how we cater to anything that is out of the blue, that is out of the process.
That's such a thoughtful answer.
You gotta do
A
it,
lot
you
of
know.
work, hard work, and a lot of stress.
Yeah,
but we do it.
that's the answer. You gotta do it. Yeah.
I feel your pain, because like similar like to our experience in Iwayi, I would say like that we have like online booking platform,
Yes.
and everything that goes there, it's fully confirmed as soon as you click the confirm button. Topic of like humans and AI and all these things. It's really interesting how far AI and digitalization is coming. Like,
Yes.
like right now, as we speak, I will just tell you, like, I just upgraded my phone to another brand, and I can click one button 2 times and it will have AI assistant coming my way and like, okay, Daniel, how can I help you? This and that. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is in my pocket. Like, and we just talked about like how it is important to have a human connection within the travel sphere. But now we have all these AI tools, AI agents, and all these things. Like, just wanted to know, like, are you going this way, like within your company? Is there like any trends? I mean, like worldwide, what do you think about it? Like, will it be like total AI control over the travel sphere, or I can understand that there are like sort of really unique travel services that are requires like human interaction and human detail polishing, all these necessary things. But I think it's 2025. A lot of things can be automated, but still not all of the things. So I just want to hear your thoughts about it. Like, like, what's going on?
Should we be worried?
Yeah,
Should we be
yes,
worried?
yes.
Well, I think as any business, we would be smart not to put it aside and see if we could incorporate it. And of course, that's what we do regularly at work, especially with our developers. How can we incorporate AI? And you're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that can be automated. And we will continue to, invest in such, solutions to get to that point. But, again, the human, right? And I always think back to that scary time 5-6 years ago of COVID.
Yeah,
right.
I just wanted to add this. Yeah,
and the thing is I remember then, I was still living in South Africa then, but there was this whole thing that everybody can book their flight online. You can book a transfer. You can book anything travel related. You can book online, which is fine. So there was this whole idea that the role of the travel agent is becoming less and less important. And then COVID happened. And the role of the travel agent and human was far more critical than many, many years, up until that point. AI cannot read emotion. It cannot read or think emotionally. It cannot put yourself in that position of, what would I do? How is my client feeling? I have a client stranded in Australia and they cannot get back because the world is locked down. AI isn't going to try and solve that problem for you, right? You're going to need a human to think, okay, how can I route this person? Which airlines are flying? Yes, to a certain extent, I suppose AI could. I don't think it's there yet. I have seen, travel companies around the world, which, hats off to them, where they say, our system has now gone AI. And then I'll go rush on there and I'll say, and it's not to put anybody down, but I'll go on there and you click on this AI section and it says, where would you like to go? And I'm like, London. Okay, great. Any preference in airlines? No. Direct or via? Preferably direct. Okay, any idea of dates? Yeah, probably the 1st until the 30th of November. And then it thinks, and then you get a whole range of different prices. Now, is that AI or is that an algorithm running a search, right? So again, I think it's becoming more and more, real that it's around the corner. But I don't think we are there yet. And even if we do get to a point where AI is a lot more developed and stronger in certain online spaces like ours, a human will always be needed. We have empathy and we care about each other, and we sell something that is special. We sell something that is exciting. Most people, in business, maybe people don't usually get excited about traveling somewhere, but generally speaking, travel is exciting, right? Flying somewhere is exciting. Staying in a hotel or seeing a new city is an exciting thing. And humans often want to share that with each other. So, in my opinion, I'm not worried about AI whatsoever in the world of travel or corporate specifically, because travel, whether it be business or leisure, is always a personal thing, in my opinion.
That's true. So just to add to that, I completely agree with Erik. I think people have learned to use AI for their searches, researches, to get ideas. I think it's very common for anyone to go and type in a destination and get information on the destination, or even search for the cheapest flight, or find the best alternative route. So I think when people are making the purchase or buying the product, AI is very useful because it'll do all that hard work of researching and giving you the best result. That's where, yes, AI is probably even far advanced than the human factor. Yeah. But I think when it comes to post-sales and service, that's where, and I'm specifically relating this to travel. When it comes to post-sales service, finding alternatives, you're stuck at the airport, there's a schedule change, your flights are canceled, and many other scenarios that we come across in travel.
AI cannot comprehend this stuff yet.
Yes. They might give you very robotic replies,
like surface level,
which will not help you. Of course. Like Erik said, that AI cannot understand the emotion or the urgency of what you're going through. You have a child with you, you're flying for a wedding, you're flying for a funeral. We have cases like these that we have to deal with. And when we have these, it's not just for corporate travelers, even in retail, there are emergencies where you just have to help the client. So I think the human factor will always remain, and people will always, for now, as I can see, and maybe for the next 10 years, people will rely on
until before after I die, at least. Like I still need a job,
until we are working. All right, I think it's fine.
Until AI gains conscience. Yeah, exactly. And then it can empathize with humans, and then
exactly
all of us lost our jobs. I want to go back in our topics. I just wanted to know, maybe you can share a little bit of statistics. You have a lot of services, as you said, from flights to hotels to ad hoc and all this stuff. What is the most popular one on your website, if that's not a secret?
I think that's not a secret. I think flights that's our biggest share of the services booked, and I think business travel is more defined by flying international if you are in the Middle East. Again, it depends from market to market. If we move to India, what we've seen is that domestic flights, there's less of international travel. There's more of domestic travel, which is distributed between low-cost carriers and train. So their dynamics are such that maybe a nice first-class train ticket will be as much as a flight ticket on a low-cost airline. So it's really a mix of their of the market share of the business that they book with us. If you move to Europe, business travel is very common on trains.
Yeah,
because that's convenient. Nobody wants to take a 2-hour flight and spend 4 hours, 5 hours in the
Go from
airport.
Manchester to London.
Yes.
Why you need a flight?
Exactly. And because in Europe, it's not just within the country, it's cross-country travel by train. It's easy, fast. In those 2 hours, you can just step into a train and get down at your destination. You don't have to go through the hassle of taking a flight. So it really depends from market to market.
I remember you saying like 10 or 15 minutes ago that you're so glad that Iwayi is covering a lot of countries, a lot of regions for you. Like if you can highlight or maybe like have a like some kind of small talk about like cooperation between our companies and like you said it yourself, like you're glad to be using Iwayi. If you can tell like a little bit more about it.
Yes, of course. I think the biggest advantage that we have from you is your coverage, of course. We've used you in more than 70, 80 countries.
That's
unbelievable, actually. Yes, we have, including India. Yeah. And obviously, we understand that you partner with local agencies. So that itself is always a mystery factor for us. All right, because let's say I know your service is fantastic in Germany, but is your service as good as in Mumbai or in Bangalore? So because I know you as Daniel, but I know your local provider what kind of service will he offer? But we've had very good experiences with you. So the coverage and the local partners that you have are really good. The second biggest advantage is that your API works perfect.
Thanks to our IT team. It's like a third of our company.
Being an online platform, I think one of the common industry challenges OTAs and TMCs like us have is API failures. Everything's online, everything's automated, but the service is vouchered but not delivered because of an AI failure. Yeah. And it's very difficult to track these failures unless you have good audit checks. But your API is one of our strong suppliers. We didn't have any failures. And of course, we do understand the exception of bookings within 24 hours, which we are aware. So it's been more than 2 years. I'm working with you guys.
We need to ask Miss Pauline about it.
She knows better.
She knows better.
Yeah, she knows better, and of course Jihad as well. And I think the third best thing is the support. We have, whenever we reached out to Iwayi for any exceptions, like if we have to book a bus for 15 passengers, we've got excellent responses, very good rates, very good service, good turnaround times. So that makes us really confident to work with you.
That's so great to hear, actually. I would tell you that. I just want to highlight one thing about, like you were telling about the suppliers that we have, like agencies. We have a mix of those, and we are trying to get as much as we can local drivers to work with us on exclusive contracts, to have them more in control, because like you can understand the difference between like the agency that we work with, like not like the agency that does like everything, like the hotels or something like that, only the transportation.
Yes.
And even they have failures, as we said, like all the dispatchers, all the drivers, they're human beings. And when we right now we are looking in the direction of on getting as much drivers as we can, like, and to have them working in this system that we have built inside of our company. As I said already, like, we have the third of our company is IT team. So they built all of these tools for us to have control over our supplier, over our vendors, so that your clients that coming your way and trusting your way, and then you turn this trust towards us, and we should not fail you at any times. And this is what we do, like, having control, the power of, like, all of this stuff. Like, as you said, like, we have API, but okay, this is just IT solution.
Yes.
In the end of the day, the driver who will smile, I hope so, that he will smile in the airport to your client. This is the thing that we are most powerful in, if I would say. So just, you guys, both of you already told a lot about Tumodo, like how you work and how it operates. Like, I will just, like, this is platform for you guys to promote your platform. You already told me a lot of good things about you, but maybe like we have companies already working with us, and they will definitely check this video out, or maybe audio version of it, and like they're booking trust with us. But about other services like flights, hotels, activities elsewhere, like, what can Tumodo bring to them? You can tell whatever you want right now. I will tell you that.
You want to take this? Yeah.
Look, I think we always say that, you know, there's that need, or as I was saying a little bit earlier, there's that need for human touch, or that human element in travel. And of course, we always have that. We are always available for our clients. But, you know, one of the things that Saba mentioned a short while ago is also options and transparency. And I think that is really important in the world we are in today. Is there are a lot of options out there, and often a person finds themselves thinking, you know, like, there's just so much information. And in the world of travel or corporate, well, I'll tell you, my mother always would tease me and say, how complicated is it to work in the travel industry? You know, you just go onto the internet, you say cheap flights to London, you find the one you want and you say book. What are you guys busy with? Like, what is so busy about travel? Like, what happens in the back end is very complicated. And in corporate, you know, it's a flight is still a flight, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. But from a corporate, when I was speaking a little bit earlier about, you know, travel budgets or how much a company is spending, it can get and does get very, very complicated. We've got clients that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on travel, and having them to put all of this information in terms of reporting and tracking and monitoring and approving, and, you know, it's we speak to so many clients who say, like, when I say, well, how many business trips do you do per month? No idea, but it's a lot. How much do you spend? Oh, I don't know, but it's a lot. You know, our aim has always been to simplify the whole world of corporate travel from a client perspective. So we'll give them, or give you as a client, all the options. We'll help you refine those options to the exact one that you need. We'll be always transparent when it comes to pricing, which is really, really important, and not to, you know, downplay the traditional booking method. But, you know, you only get 3 options generally as the norm in the world of corporate travel when you are emailing a TMC offline. From here, Dubai, to Riyadh, for example, there's 1,800 different combinations of flights for example. So how do I know that my agency offline is sending me the right option for me?
Yeah.
So options are important, transparency is important, but then also to simplify the whole process of, like I say, searching, choosing some options, being able to hold a flight and hold that fare is one of our biggest how do I say it, selling points
Yes.
or pluses, because if you want to book a flight to go on holiday somewhere, right? Yeah. You're going to go on the airline website. You'll see, okay, it's going to cost $1,000, but you don't want to book it right now because you got to chat to the boss first and make sure you can get your leave sorted. So tomorrow morning, you quickly go to the boss. You say, "Listen, I want to go on holiday. Can I go?" He says, "Sure." Your leave is approved. Then you jump back on the airline website again. The price has gone up and it's now 1,500.
Yeah, because they're tracking all this.
Because you okay, so I've budgeted, I've checked with the bank, I've checked my credit card, everything is good to go. I can afford 1,000, and then you told it's 1,500. Yeah. So we've also developed the capability on our product to reserve a booking and reserve a flight booking without issuing the ticket yet, for however long the airline allows you to hold the seat for. So it gives a lot of companies, a huge peace of mind knowing that price is secured, while if there are approvers in the business that need to approve the trip, that it gives them time to approve the trip, the ticket can be issued, and there's no jumps in price. So as I said right at the beginning, most of us in our company come from the world of travel. So we know, we have worked in airlines or hotels, in cruises, in people from all different parts of the travel industry. So we get the pains or the difficult things that clients have to go through often, and our aim is to alleviate those and make life as simple as possible for a company. And at any time they can go open up the platform. This is exactly how much I've spent. This is who I've spent it on. This is how much I've spent per airline. This is how much I've spent per route. It is all in a very, very simple platform that is accessible, online on any device, and of course a mobile application as well. So and it runs really, really well, especially with Iwayi. If we've got the APIs, if the APIs run well, then yeah. But no, we're very confident. It's a great product, and we're very proud of it. And it continues to be developed. We're adding new features all the time.
And you're developing new markets as well.
Exactly. Yes. We're launching into new markets a lot. We're quite aggressive on that front. And it's our product, right? So we often will develop something based on feedback from clients. And that, I think, is also what gives us the edge. We don't sit around a table and think just amongst ourselves, what should we develop next? What new features should we add? We listen to the clients, and our clients have had a very, very important hand in helping us develop this product as well and build this platform, because we really analyze, how can I make my life how can I make the life of this client better? How can I make their experience better? And we'll often use their feedback and analyze their data to help us develop something that's going to be better for them.
And speaking of travel industry, I just want you to tell me more about yourself, because you said you in your company there are a lot of seniors who worked here, there in cruises and hotels and all of this stuff. If you can give me some kind of insights on how did you start your work in travel industry. And I see that you're already smiling. It's because
do you want me to go first or you to go first?
You decide by yourself.
Let me go first.
All right.
I think Erik and I both started donkey years ago.
Yeah,
long time. So I think I'm more than 20 years in the industry, seen a lot of things change. So started as an intern and a travel consultant and grew up, walked the way up. Over these years, worked in different businesses, worked offline, worked online. I've also been part of the Emirates Group Donata. That's where I started my journey. And then moved on to online travel with Donata, then later on with Travel Start. Erik's also been part of Travel Start. That's a South African online travel agency. Before Tumodo, I was with ClearTrip, which is one of the biggest agencies in India, and now with Tumodo. So yeah, most of it has been online. So a lot of e-commerce, but since it's travel, you always see new things coming up. I remember in the early days, we even wrote paper tickets. Mm-hmm. We Erik, do you remember that? Did you write
with that
paper? Yes, with those charge forms and the plates. From that to AI booking your flight ticket. So yeah, long journey, an interesting one, and still a lot to learn every day.
Never stop learning.
Yeah,
in
every
travel,
day we learn something
stop.
new. There's a new product.
Right now, it's a new experience for three of us, I think.
Yes, Erik.
Yeah, so for me, it's been about 16 years. I landed in travel by accident. It wasn't my intention, but I was trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do. And a friend of mine was working at a travel company in Cape Town. And I thought, you know what, I love traveling, so let me get into travel. And I started consulting, and I absolutely found my passion, got to see a lot of the world, and moved into the corporate brand of the company, Flight Centre Travel Group, big, massive global travel company. And I moved into corporate, and that's when... after a number of years, I then took up the head of the sales team at Travel Start, which is one of Africa's largest OTAs, big company there. That was when I moved into online, and that's where I really entered the world of online in travel, and I absolutely loved it. And then, after 6-7 years, I can't even remember, then decided, let's make the move to Dubai of all places. And Tumodo, been with Tumodo for the past couple of years. So like I say, it wasn't a planned entry into travel, but you know what? It's a very addictive industry to work in.
Yeah, I would agree.
I've seen... in my career, I think Saba will probably say the same, and you as well. There's a lot of people I've known throughout my career that were working maybe as colleagues or industry colleagues as such. And they said, I'm going to take a break from travel. It's tiring. And they're going to go and do something else. And then, 6 months later, you see them in the shops and like, hey, what are you doing? How's your other job? Like, no, I came back to travel. So you always, not always, but you often find people coming back into some sort of area of the world of travel. Yeah. A lot of ex-cabin crew come to work in the actual travel industry itself. So I think it's a wonderful industry to work in, and I'll probably work in it until not my dying day, but my retirement day at least.
Until AI takes over.
Yeah, until AI takes my job, and then I have no choice.
And then 6-7 months later, you will come back.
I'll still come back there. Yeah,
that's great. That's great. Just the another question that I want to link them up, the first one and this one. Maybe you can share each one of you one insight about the travel industry you wish more people knew, like you said with about the example with your mother, because what is wrong, just click the book button, it's that simple. This is one of the insights, but I want to know more from you guys.
That is actually coming off that kind of story about my mother, because one thing I wish the general public knew more about travel is that the back end of it is very complicated. And one of the things I wish I could like show or tell more people about, like I say, as the general public, those who do not come from travel, is how airlines work and how the ticketing works and how tickets are made up of fare and taxes, and it's not real taxes. We just say taxes, but often the funny thing is often you're in my whole career, it's not just now, but a date change, when somebody needs to change the date of their flight, right? They'll pop you a mail and say, listen, I can't travel on this day. I now need to travel on that day. Then you would go in, or your agent or whoever goes and calculates the date change, and you send this price back in these guys' eyes. You can just see it, that they open their email and they see like, sorry, but you're taking me from the seat on one plane, putting me on a seat on another plane, the same airline, the same plane type, one day earlier or later, and it's costing me like a huge amount of money. Why? Now, that's the thing, is often you have to find yourself explaining how, fares are made up. You don't just get one standard price for every seat on the plane. The fuller a plane gets, the more expensive the remaining seats become. So it's quite complicated, and to do it in, right?
Yes.
To do it in very simple English often is difficult to do. So I think people would have a lot more appreciation for travel agents globally. I mean, knowing what happens in the back end, which from all aspects, hotels, transfers, flights, rail, visas. All aspects, the back end of it is extremely complex. And if I've sometimes shown people a GDS, and I say, you want to see how complicated it is? And I'll turn my screen and I'll show them a GDS, and it's just like codes and things. And I'm like, that's what we do.
Yeah, and people are, how do you remember these codes?
Like,
but you just know them.
In the movies, when in the movies, often as
hackers.
a kid,
the hackers are coding.
Yeah.
Because it's the black screen, right? It's the black
Yeah.
and green screen on GDS.
Or in the movies, if you see, I can't remember what movie it was, but it was Adam Sandler, and he was at the airport and he needed to get a flight somewhere. And he was standing at this woman at the check-in counter, and she's just looking at a screen and typing and typing and typing. And he's like, you just find me a flight. And I also I was a kid when I watched it, and I'm thinking, what is she typing just to find a flight? And that's when I started learning a GDS, it's like, you got to type all these entries in to give you different results and grab seats and then create a booking. So, that's what I wish more people knew, is how it works in the back end.
Yes.
That it's not just search, book, done.
I think that's how it's become now, right?
Yeah.
Erik? With e-commerce, that's what that's what the Gen Zs. That's what they know.
What we want.
Yeah.
And what are your insights, Saba, if you can tell me?
Well, I completely agree with Erik. But I think if I could give some insights on travel, it would be, and what I generally tell my friends is that just try to fly off peak. I see so many people travel high season, pay really high prices, and especially during Christmas and New Year or festivals.
Yeah.
The airlines, and it's their yield management. They will hike up the prices even 3 times.
Oh.
Yes, and that's how the industry is, and it's been like this with major airlines, with low cost airlines, and for years and years. I think it's very smart to travel off peak because the seats are empty. The airlines will slash down their prices to sell that seat. That's smart way to travel. Travel is not always expensive.
You just need to know the season.
Yes, especially now, and as compared to maybe 15 years ago, like right now, there are hundreds of low-cost carriers that offer really, really cheap fares and cheap seats. Like when 15, 18 years ago, you had maybe 10, 20 major, big, full-fledged airlines that would dominate those countries. They would dominate, I think, continents, right?
Yeah.
But now, and all airlines have to be registered with ITA, which was not an easy thing to do. Now there are so many airlines which are non-ITA, which offer really, really cheap, flexible fares. So passengers should make use of that.
And off-season isn't always a bad time to go.
Exactly.
Off-season, sometimes the weather is lovely and you beat the crowds as well. So
a lot of people in the travel industry fly
we all
off
go
peak.
off-season.
We all fly off peak. We'd never pay 4 times for that fare on Christmas. Yeah, sure.
Can you tell us most memorable or unusual story from your career, in travel industry? Maybe some kind of interesting claims, I don't know, or something like that.
Interesting story.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
yeah.
I think as travel professionals, we'll have a lot of stories of escalations and complaints and customer issues. But I think during COVID was something that we've not experienced before. And I don't think so we will experience something like that. COVID was 2020. I was already 15 years in the travel industry. And in my 15 years, or even before when I was traveling as a kid, I'd never seen all the planes grounded. I'd never seen empty airports. I've never seen empty roads in Dubai. So that was something extraordinary. And at the same time, we have thousands of passengers. I was working for ClearTrip that time. So we had thousands of passengers asking for money. And as a company, we don't have any money from the airlines because the airlines are not flying anymore.
Yeah.
So this kind of a situation has never happened before. I think it depends on different countries, but I've never seen a market come to a halt completely where people don't fly. There's never a time when people don't fly. The planes are always in the air. It was very unusual to see the runways of the Dubai airport filled with planes, like hundreds of planes together. And then, of course, it's a difficult time for everyone. We as travel professionals, we are obviously worried about the health and the well-being of our family. At the same time, you don't know what's going to happen to the travel industry. So I think that was
a crazy
bittersweet. Yeah, it
times.
was really difficult, challenging, but yeah, we got over it.
But the other thing, just before I tell my little story, but the thing that irritates me, and of course it was a terrible time, and unfortunately a lot of people passed away. It was a horrible time. But something that really irritated me was that the whole world went on lockdown pretty much.
Yeah.
And unfortunately the medical professionals didn't get a chance to go on lockdown. They were busy. Hospitals were busy, and there were a few industries that didn't get the chance. Not the chance, but didn't. They weren't quiet. The travel industry was probably the busiest we've ever been, but we made no money. We sold nothing, and as Saba said, I think. We were worried about what's going to happen in the industry. The world had completely shut down. And so you're not only worried about your job, but we were the busiest we've ever been because you've got thousands and thousands of people saying, give me my money, I want my refund. And ask the airline, and good luck trying to phone the airline. Nobody's going to answer. So
I think at that time, Erik and I, we both were heading operations.
Yes, yeah. So it was a mess.
I can imagine.
But yeah, I do have an unusual story, but it's not really, I don't know. I mean, but a heartwarming story that I'll never forget. And it's often what I think about when I have those moments of when you're getting a little bit older and you're thinking, am I in the right career? Do I need a change? Am I doing the right thing? Those moments to yourself. And I'll never forget, I was in Cape Town and I flew up to Johannesburg for work. And coming back, I'd had 2 days there doing meetings at some clients, and I got back onto the flight from Johannesburg to Cape Town. It's a 2-hour flight, and I always book a window. And I sat in my seat, and the last 2 passengers to board were a mother and her daughter. She was probably about 4 or 5 years old. I could instantly see the little girl had never been on a plane before. She was so excited. She was just looking everywhere. And, it was one of the most, and it was really nice to see. And as they got to, where my row was, it became clear they put their bags in the overhead bin. And it was clear, okay, they're sitting next to me. Mm-hmm. And they both looked at me, and then the daughter looked like very disappointed for a moment. And then the mom said, it's okay, we'll try next time, whatever. I promise you, I'll see if I can phone the airline for the window. And I'm very particular. I want my window seat when I travel, always, right? But this little girl came to sit next to me in the middle seat, and her mother on the aisle. And I knew for a fact there's no way I can fly to Cape Town with this little girl on her first flight ever, not being able to look out of the window. And I said to the mother, listen, let her I'll sit on the aisle, you two sit over here and let your daughter look out. And she said, no, we didn't book. It was my fault. I didn't check in on time. We were even late for this flight. I don't expect you to do it. And I insisted. Eventually they agreed, and the little girl goes on the window. That plane took off, and I heard this like little squeal of excitement coming from this girl. And the whole flight, she was fascinated, looking out of the window, looking at the wing. And that's something I often think about is, we change people's lives. We connect people around the world. We bring people together. I know it's very wishy-washy, but it often makes me think that, we're not selling hand soap. We're not selling, funeral policies. We're selling something exciting. We're selling something, as I say, that brings people together. And it's really rewarding often to be responsible. And when you think back, how many people have I been in the back end involved with bringing people together and giving people first experiences that are exciting and letting people see new cities and try new foods. So that often when I'm feeling a little bit down, then I think of that story and I'm like, we work for a great industry, and that's something I'll never forget.
Such a sweet story.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That's heartwarming. I'm sitting here like, what?
No, but it was one of the most beautiful moments ever, seeing somebody so excited, because, it reminded me of the first day I was ever on a plane.
Yeah.
And it was the most extraordinary experience of my life, to sit on a plane for the first time, and this big thing is going up in the sky. It was, so it was really nice to be able to let somebody else have that opportunity.
Sometimes I feel like this little girl when I get this seat near the window, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And like I will tell you, actually in February we went to Mumbai to the exhibition OTM. Mm-hmm. And I was so happy that I was getting this window seat, because there was a huge mountains. Like I saw a lot of mountains. Mm-hmm. I'm a like hike person. Okay. I go here and there. I saw a bear one time. This is like some kind of Joe Rogan podcast about bears, but no. But when I saw these mountains and I was sitting like, okay, I'm going on a business trip. This is the work-related thing. I should enjoy it. Mm. But I should still be like more of a professional and all of these things. But you said it yourself, like even going on the business trip, it's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting to go to a new place, like even to a familiar place, but like to be this little girl sitting on the like near the window and check like how you land in like what's the scenery like near the plane. And you see all these things like on these mountains. I don't remember what the names of the mountains were, but it was such a beautiful scenery. And I was like, wow, like if I wouldn't work in travel, it will never happen to me.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Because like it's like chance 1 in a million. Like you like back when you're a younger person, you think like, oh, I'm going to work and then I will visit 120 countries and all these things.
And then life happens.
Yeah. And I'm really happy that I'm working in the travel industry and I see different locations, different countries, different cultures, and I can make myself like a part of this story of the travel experience in each and every passenger that we have and that you guys have as well. So that's a really heartwarming story.
Yeah, that is a very nice story.
It's like a lot
Thanks
of like
for sharing that. Yeah.
a lot of heart feel like things are going through my mind. Thank you guys for coming. It's such a pleasure to
Same here.
first
It
of
was a
all
very good pleasure for us.
meet you both. Saba we met before, but now in a new look. So
Yes.
thank you so much for like sharing your incredible insights, stories, like the heartwarming ones and like
Yes.
some funny ones. It was a like fascinating conversation that we both had. Like, guys, really appreciate it that you're coming to Iwayi Talks today. I hope that it will be the first of many ones. And you guys are pioneers in sort of way. So
Glad to.
thank you for coming. And yeah, see you soon, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
great to be here.
Yeah.